Labour could bankrupt Britain with its net zero policy. Well, no surprises there. We're trying to do the same thing here under Labour. But tell us about Britain, Mayuran.
Well, net zero, I think if you ask the average member of the public, they'll tell you that net zero is a government policy that is going to save the planet. And what I hope from this Labour government, I think the UK is going to be a case study for the world to show that net zero is government policy that will effectively bankrupt a country and do almost nothing to save the planet. It effectively deindustrializes your country. It makes the taxpayer spend billions of pounds chasing renewables, which are intermittent. It offshores industry abroad, and then they make things like steel, and we end up having to buy that same steel from abroad where the jobs go instead of our own economy benefiting from it. So that's the summary of what net zero is. And we have a minister called Ed Miliband, who many people think is perhaps the most dangerous man in Britain because he's effectively a net zero extremist. While we have pensioners struggling to heat their homes, he's spending billions upon billions of taxpayers' money chasing and looking to decarbonize the national grid, which many experts are saying is actually impossible. And he himself doesn't really understand how to do that. And it was quite an embarrassing moment where he actually wrote an open letter to the national grid asking him for ideas as to how to do this. So we funded billions of pounds and he really doesn't have any idea how to do it. And it is effective suicide note for the economy. And so I'm quite worried, and I think the British public are slowly waking up out of their slumber to realise net zero government policy does not mean saving the climate, especially when you have a country that produces less than 1% of global carbon emissions.
Rita.